6th of March, gentlemen.
Yes, yes, we will.
I can see that friends are very eager to meet. But friends will have to wait 2 more days. It's the 6th of March, not the 4th of March. Yes, Navika wanted to come in. Yes, Navika.
Okay,
Mr. Salman Khurshid, the calculation within the Congress seems to be that, creates such a polarization, because polarization has always helped you to get the Muslim vote. Otherwise, you will lose the same Muslim vote to probably the Samajwadi party. So, is this something that is well strategized, well calculated, and therefore the dates are falling right to the T, and even probably the Election Commission's notice makes you a bigger champion of the Muslim vote?
No, I'm not a champion of the Muslim vote at all. Please understand. I do believe that everybody, and we will obviously, as the campaign moves on, we will look at different things that we are planning to do for this country. Some that we've announced, some that are in the pipeline, but at least the manifesto must indicate, the manifesto will indicate the reach and the footprint of our commitment as far as social justice is concerned. And I think that it's extremely unfair that you decide the dates for us, you decide the mode of communication, and then you decide how much and when to give to whoever we believe is in the need of equity.
Now, I take your point. Now, I want a word in from Gaurav Bhatia, who's from the Samajwadi party. Salman Khurshid, please stay on. Gaurav Bhatia of the Samajwadi party, are you afraid that this statement of Salman Khurshid is going to wipe the SP out?
Why should we be afraid? In fact, the timing of the statement itself shows that the Congress is now desperate and they're insecure about the minority votes. As correctly pointed out by you, the Ranganath Mishra report was submitted long time back in 2007. The Sachar Committee report was submitted in 2006. So it's been good for 5 years, and the Congress has not acted on that report. The voters are not foolish or naive. They know that it's a political stunt.
Okay. Manisha Priyam, Salman Khurshid is with us tonight. Do you think the voters, Muslim voters, will be extremely satisfied with what Salman Khurshid has promised or is talking about?
In fact, it's a very conditional offer. He says that he will give it to them if he comes in power.
Yes.
And I would just like to ask Mr. Khurshid how seriously he takes his own promise of coming to power and then extending this to the Muslims in Uttar Pradesh.
Is it a conditional offer? Yes.
Well, you've asked a very, very interesting question. You're saying that I'm making it conditional upon coming to power, but that's true about everything one says in a manifesto, that if we come to power, we will do this. By sitting in the opposition, you can't do these things. What we could do in the center, we have already done. What we need to do in the state, we will do if we come to power. Now, how can I make a promise saying, well, whether I come to power or not, I will do this? I'm not working on the ground.
But if you come with the SP, then
in a constituency. Huh? Listen, you can't
come together with the Samajwadi party?
Then you ask the Samajwadi party, why are you asking me? They've just said that this is a stunt. That means they have no intentions of implementing something of this kind. It's for them to decide. Why should I come with anybody? When we come with a manifesto, we fight to win, we fight to go to the destination. That's what we are doing today. And I believe whatever is legitimate, sensible, allowable, everybody talks about the code of conduct, but nobody tells me which word and line in the code of conduct says that you must
Mr. Khurshid. Mr. Khurshid, the code of conduct says very clearly, since you asked me, I don't know if you asked me, but since you said somebody, it says
I'm asking you, tell me.
Yeah? Okay, it says announcements of new programs, of new projects or program or concessions or financial grants in any form or promises thereof or laying of foundation stones which have the effect of influencing the voters in favor of the party in power is prohibited. And it also says it is enforced from the date of the announcement of the election schedule by the Election Commission, operational till the elections are over. Yes, sir?
Absolutely. Would you answer one question then?
Yes,
Does
sir.
it mean that every manifesto promise is not allowed? No manifesto promise is allowed.
Sir,
if we come to power, we will do this.
You made an announcement
I can't make
on the
an
Muslim
announcement.
Quota during your speech.
I cannot make it. I cannot make an announcement. Please understand, you're a sensible, educated person. You know that announcements can only be made formally by government. An individual cannot make an announcement. How can I make an announcement? But I can certainly tell you what our party position is. When we campaign, we say we are committed to doing this. That's not an announcement. That is a commitment. That's not an announcement. And if you can't make a commitment in an election, then you might as well not fight the election.
Mr. Prasad, you think that argument will hold?
Well, Mr. Salman Khurshid cannot forget that apart from being the Law Minister of India, he has also been the Minority Affairs Minister of the country.
Okay.
It carries great weight. He is not a simple leader who is campaigning. He cannot ignore the authority in the country which he possesses today. I don't know what will happen in future, I don't know. But today he possesses. And that clearly comes within the ambit of concession, and the model code of conduct stands infracted. That's what our reading is. And therefore we have complained. It is no lie there. But yet, the larger issue remains that this is designed to try to boost. I don't know how far they will succeed. I'm sure the minorities in Uttar Pradesh or in the country have seen the pitiable conditions because of price rise, corruption they have to live. And this announcement, simpliciter, is not going to bring them big votes.
Well, Mr. Khurshid knows as well that at the most he'll be reprimanded by the Election Commission. But in your view, will he get away with it?
I don't think there's a question of getting away with it, because neither the Supreme Court, nor the Election Commission, nor the Constitutional Bench are going to be persuaded by the fact that Khurshid is a law minister. They are not going to look at or a minority person or law minister or member of the central government, because they can give a judgment, their opinion, independent of what Khurshid's status is. So I don't think that is an important issue. Again, the point is, the key word in entire debate, whether of the Samajwadi Party, of the Congress, of BJP, is appeasement. But the presumption is that all these quotas will actually appease the vote banks of the OBCs or Muslims, and the presumption itself is wrong, because the Muslims have gone with the BSP, Muslims have gone with the Samajwadi Party, Muslims have gone with the Congress, and to quote Ravi Shankar Prasad himself, he said for 58 years, Congress was in power and Muslims are in miserable state. So, despite appeasement policy which Congress is accused of, if Muslims are in this state, that clearly means that appeasement policy does not work.
Last question tonight to Ajay Bose. Ajay Bose, would Mulayam Singh Yadav be most worried about what Salman Khurshid has said? Because they have a traditional support base of Yadavs and Muslims. I mean, this can cut through, at least on paper, this kind of a promise from a minority affairs minister, from someone of Mr. Salman Khurshid's seniority, can have an effect on the voters, you think?
So listen, both of them are obviously fighting over the Muslim vote. There's no question about that. But I don't think that Mulayam Singh will be that worried. Because as I am completely in agreement with Kumar Ketkar. I don't think this pre-poll statements or anything will really have any major impact on the voter. I think we think the voter is a fool. I mean, I don't think you can sway voters like that. I think voters very, very calculatedly vote. And the Muslim is not a monolithic bloc. Each Muslim thinks for himself, and they're very clear about which way they will go.
Okay. Well, Mr. Khurshid, I can only say that you've certainly set the cat among the pigeons so far as the political debate is concerned. You wish you would have said this earlier? You think if you had said this a month back, it would have had more impact?
And maybe, Mr. Khurshid, to add to what Arnab said, Rahul Gandhi has been touring the UP extensively.
Yes.
Could he have promised what you promised in the election manifesto earlier?
Yes.
Why wait till now?
Yes.
Well, I'm surprised that you don't do enough research. When we met, when all the candidates met in Lucknow and the PCC, I made this speech. I was asked to make this speech. We made it very clear to them. I made this speech in Kanpur Dehat. Exactly the same thing I said in Kanpur Dehat. If you don't do your research, what can I do? Today, suddenly, because the BJP has taken it up, therefore you have suddenly started this debate. I'm sorry, I can't help you in that. I can give you a record that I've been saying this over 5 years. When I was PCC president, I said it. I've been saying it for 5 years
point, Mr.
in
Khurshid.
every convention and every seminar.
But that's the point, Mr. Khurshid. You've kept saying it, and others will say you kept saying it, but nothing has been done. But it remains a promise, and it remains.
But you know, the point is, Point is, we've been saying it, we are not been in power in UP. We came to power in Delhi. I was not a minister in UPA 1. I was made a minister in UPA 2. Yes. Within 2.5 years in UPA 2, I've been able to persuade my colleagues that this is something that we owe to the minorities, and we must do it.
But the significance of your saying it today is slightly greater than the significance of your saying it before the election dates were announced. But, you know,
of course, but I can't change my position because elections have been announced.
Certainly you can't.
My position is consistent.
Yes.
My position is consistent. If somebody is getting hurt because of my statement, well, it's just too bad.
Well, that's the classic dilemma, isn't it, Mr. Khushi? Mr. Khushi, that's the classic dilemma. A promise, if it had been turned into a deed, then today the Election Commission would not have sent you a notice. But because the promise remains a promise, and the reiteration of the promise after election dates are announced.
Please listen. But please listen, Election Commission has not sent me any notice. Yes. When it sends me a notice, I will be happy to share it with you.
Yes.
Now, Election Commission seems to have given you all notices, but I don't know anything about it. And let us understand one thing, Election Commission giving a notice doesn't mean that's the end of the story.
No.
What do I have to say and how do I say it is also something which is very important. So please don't worry about the Election Commission. Let's just worry about what you and I have to say to the people of this country. And what we have to say to the people of this country is that someone is trying to stifle honest opinion simply in the garb of code of conduct.
I think we saw a hand raised there, and I'll let Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad respond to you, because I'm sure that your reference to somebody who wants to stifle, opinion is to Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, your dear friend. Mr. Prasad.
No, my reply is very simple. Let me take what Salman just said. He was not a minister in the first UPA, therefore the then Congress government was not serious about it. He is trying for the last 2.5 years. Mr. Rahul Gandhi is keeping quiet about it. Dr. Manmohan Singh is keeping quiet about it. Sonia Gandhi is keeping quiet about it. Therefore, if it is a solo performance of Mr. Salman Khurshid, that all the more reinforces our apprehension and allegation that this kind of announcement has been made.
No, he says.
Only with a view to garner votes when campaign is going on. That's very clear. As far as passing debate is concerned, sorry Mr. Salman Khurshid, we have made a legitimate complaint to the Election Commission. Whatever Election Commission has to say and whatever you have to say will be decided by the Commission. But yes, this political issue of rank appeasement by you would remain a live political issue in the campaign.
Okay.
Most welcome. Most welcome. It's not rank appeasement. It is showing you in your true colors. The saffron colors are now showing through, because every time we want to do justice to the weak and the marginalized, you have a problem. And we will take you on head on. And let me just tell you, it's an absurd thing to say that this is my own idea. This is something on which our entire leadership is what?
Non-minority OBCs.
Okay, it's poll season, gentlemen.
Yes.
It's poll season.
Like Bihar, like you have done in Bihar.
Yes, it's a poll season. Ladies and gentlemen, it's poll season on the News Hour tonight. I thank you all for joining me on that live debate. Salman Khurshid, Ravi Shankar Prasad, Manisha Priyam, Kumar Ketkar, Ajay Bose, and of course, Gaurav, Bhatia and Navika Kumar. Thank you very much indeed. It's poll season.